What is up, guys? It is SoCanadianGamer. We are back today, guys, with some more epic Spintires mod review videos. Today, guys, we're looking at the 2013 Jeep Wrangler that came out over at ov.co.uk. This is a mod from Jim's Mods, and from my understanding, this is the first truck that he's put out for Spintires. Not too sure what his modding background is, but judging by this mod, it looks pretty amazing. Everything down to the chassis, to the paint, to just everything is amazing on this truck. We do have a couple add-ons included with it. So we have a fuel rack and a spare wheel, which is going to give us some extra repair points and fuel, obviously. We will get it on, guys. The truck is already started. Typical V8 sound that was probably reused from Spintires. Kind of sounds like the UAZ, to be honest. And we also have a very epic interior view. We don't have working gauges or working steering wheel or even a radio, but it gives off the effect if that's what you're going for. And we're going to go fuel this up before we head out on our adventure. I have planned out a little bit of a different route this time around, and I think it's going to overall just work better. Back this bad boy up. I got to apologize, guys, if you guys can hear stuff in the background. It is, again, peak hours in my household, so there could be some stuff going on in the background. I'll try and edit it out in the video, though, in post-process. So we're going to hit up the barrels of death first, and then progress onto some different areas. So we'll go into low gear first and check that out. Very low gear. Definitely really nice and crawly, though. Not too sure where those tires are from. From my understanding, everything was modeled from the ground up. The only thing that was used was that model from SketchUp, and everything else was built from the ground up. So those could be original tires. If they are, they look amazing. I love the texturing on them, and they look like actual Jeep tires. Not sure on the size. They could be around 38 or even 40, 42 maybe, not sure. I'm not good with diameters. Thus far, we're absolutely destroying the barrels of death, and I haven't played too much with this truck. I mean, obviously I loaded it in, tested it out, and just to see if it worked. I mean, I don't want to fire up recording programs and then it just crashes. But I haven't actually test driven the truck yet, so it is a mystery on how it's actually going to perform. We also have a snorkel, which I didn't notice, and a light bar. Well, it's not a light bar, but lights on the top as well. Of course, guys, if you like the video in any way, shape, or form, smash that like button for me and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of these epic videos. I'm still trying to hit my subscriber count, which is, I think, 1,000. I'm getting sort of close. I mean, I'm almost halfway there. But if you guys enjoy the content, hit that subscribe button. It does help me out a lot. Thus far, this is a really epic truck, though. I mean, we're not really struggling through this area. I predicted it was going to do really well, but given that it doesn't have a lot of ground clearance, I figure we would struggle a lot more than we are right now. There is 4 different skins included with the truck. I don't know if I mentioned that before. I've equipped the green skull one, which is not the default. I think the default skin is black, but you can choose from a few different skins. I thought this one looked pretty unique, though, and different and out there, kind of hipsterous, if that's what you're going for. Really curious to see what the dangerous water level is going to be like. I figured we would hit up the barrels of death first as a testing platform, just to kind of get it out of the way instead of waiting till the end of the review like we usually do in most of these videos. Absolute ton of grip, though, on the rocks. I love the animation on this truck. The wheels, or should I say the tires, they feel like they're real tires. And again, this is one of those mods that you could probably put into the game, and the average Spintires player probably couldn't tell the difference if it was a developer truck or it was an actual modded in truck. The paint looks amazing on this, and detail wise, this is competing up there with SID and Brute Terror trucks, I would say. Got to be oh so careful going through this section. As I've done many times in the past, I've totally killed vehicles going through there, hitting those boulders of death. For some reason, you take a lot of damage, but this Jeep doesn't seem like it has a lot of mass to it. one thing I've noticed right off the bat so far is that it doesn't take a lot of damage. I mean, we have 600 damage points, we have 150 repair points with our add-on, but we're not really taking any damage. We are hung up on this rock, though. And that's unfortunate. I think I'll be better off if I just reverse it out of here and maybe go around the rock. It's a very agile vehicle, nice short wheelbase, nice tight turning radius, and really going through sections like this, that is what you want. Long wheelbase vehicles generally struggle when we take it to the barrels of death because you want a nice short wheelbase going through these areas. It's just a requirement, really. For a truck that was designed from the ground up, I can tell a lot of work went into it, a lot of effort, tons of testing, and it is showing so far. I mean, this is a very well put together truck and is definitely competing with some of the top mod authors, so I hope we see more from Jim's mod so far because this is an amazing truck. I'm really enjoying this. It's a very balanced setup. It's not overpowered. Nice low gear. It's a slow gear, but I mean, it's low gear. It's for crawling. But it just seems perfect for trails, and I'm willing to bet even if you had just mouse and keyboard WASD, even the low gear will work with WASD fairly well. So that's always good to see, because I know there's a lot of players out there that do play with WASD and not necessarily everyone plays with a controller. I think to get the best out of Spintires, you really want to be playing with a controller. But if you're not, that is cool as well. As long as you're playing the game and having fun, that's all that matters. Not even relatively close to hitting a dangerous water level right there. Now, of course, we do have a snorkel, so that's going to give us a little bit more leadway over the standard trucks. Really epic lights on here as well. As you can see, we have really... Oh, I have a little bit of FPS lag there. That is weird. Not too sure what that is caused from. Interesting. The lights look amazing though. Really like the color on them. They look like default lights, but they look realistic, which is nice to see. They're not HID headlamps or anything. Very detailed winch on the front as well. And the suspension is really awesome. Not just the animation, but the shocks. It's coilover shock suspension. That just looks amazing. I think the type of suspension that this is called 4-link suspension. I think that's what it's called. But it gives you a lot of suspension articulation and travel. This is the area I want to go through here. Usually we get to the end of the review, and I usually end it when we're taking on this part. And this is actually a really technical and difficult part, and you do have to be careful going through here. I figured for this review, because it's a Jeep, the epicness of Jeeps, we would take it through this really technical section, take our time, and really do some nice crawling and put this truck through the paces. I don't know how I'm going to come up with any cons for this truck. I know I usually come up with 2 pros, 2 cons for most of these reviews, but I really don't know what I'm going to be able to come up with this truck because, I mean, everything so far is pretty perfect. I would say this is perfection at its finest. Really, maybe some different sounds, but I mean, really, thus far, it's just amazing. It just feels perfected. This is a fairly deep mud hole here, so we will get an opportunity to see what the dangerous water level is. We'll keep it in low gear. Low gear seems to be pretty good. I haven't tested out the high gear yet. Unfortunately, going through this section, you can't test out the high gear. We did take 2 damage, but we did submerge the whole vehicle underwater, and even the snorkel couldn't help us through that section. And you know what? I'm going to go into high gear. We'll risk it and see what happens. What's the worst that can happen, right? Oh, God. Sketchy, sketchy, sketchy. And there we go. We are just tackling all this terrain with no issues at all. I figured this was going to be more of a challenge. Honestly, going through here, I was like, man, this is going to take like a good part of the review, but We haven't got stuck. We haven't had to winch yet. And really, it's just a nice crawling vehicle. I see so many of these Jeeps come out, and some of them are good, some of them are bad, and they don't really feel like Jeeps now. I've driven a Jeep in real life, so I kind of know what they handle like. Not anything crazy like these, but I mean, this just feels like a real Jeep. It feels really, really put together. I wanted to go into high gear for this water crossing, but that's not going to happen. We did take a little bit more damage there, so 5 out of the 600. And it's just blasphemy because that's the only damage we've taken is from water, so submersing it. Other than that, we haven't taken any more damage. I would say the truck could probably use a little bit more fuel. It is realistic to the amount of fuel it's using though, for how much we have on board. So 80 liters of fuel. But it is ripping through that fuel fairly quick. We're at 50 out of the 80 right now, so I'm willing to bet by the end of this review we're probably going to have to use that add-on. It's a good thing that we filled up. I was contemplating on whether or not to do that, but I think it was a good move. And what direction should we go? Let's go left. Let's go left. We are in high gear right now, but I think for this section here, I'm going to switch it into automatic, and we'll test out some automatic. We'll go back into the interior view. Can't see a whole lot right now because we're going up a little incline. Not too shabby. Now, oh gosh. Honestly, really dizzying every time I go into interior view. I don't know how people can play in that 24/7. I'm not complaining that, I mean, it's bad to have in mods because I really think, like, immersion-wise, it's awesome to have in there, but I can't play in that for too long. It's dizzying to me. So far, automatic is handling this fairly well. I don't want to go too fast because if you take a bad bounce, you will wreck it very easy through here. It doesn't really matter what truck you have. If you go too fast through these sections, you just kill your truck. So automatic is a very nice gear. Very balanced, doesn't continuously stay in first gear. It actually switches gears. It's able to go over terrain fairly well. Now, of course, I'm playing with controllers, so I mean, I'm lightly tapping the throttle. I'm not full blown on the gas. And I'm trying to think. You know what? Let's go left, because if memory serves me correct, left is a short route, but it's pretty technical, pretty treacherous, and it could be a nice little challenge for this Jeep. I'd really like to know the tire size. So far, that's my favorite thing about this Jeep is that roll cage and the tires. I really love these tires. I think they were built from the ground up. I think those are awesome looking tires. They're so detailed and the texturing on them, they look like the real thing. It's pretty awesome looking. So this little, I'm gonna call this the mini Grand Canyon, because honestly, this is pretty tough to get through, and I think the vehicles I have brought through here in previous reviews have usually got stuck. So let's see how the Jeep gets it on. Will we have to winch? Oh. Be careful we don't flip it backwards. We are in low gear, so our best opportunity is low gear to get up this, and wow, we just tackled that. Wow, that's impressive. This thing can crawl for days. Really true to that Jeep heritage. I'm starting to understand why people use these as rock crawlers now, because if they actually can crawl like this in real life, I mean, that's amazing. Even the axles look amazing. Like, if you can just stop it here for a sec. Can we get a view of that? You can kind of see it. Hopefully you can see it in the video. But the chassis is amazing. Just amazing. I think the chassis looks better than the actual body. As I said earlier in the review, if these are the kind of trucks we're going to be seeing from Jim's modding, then that is just awesome. I can't wait. I cannot wait to see the future content he comes out with. One thing that's bothering me a little bit, and I just noticed it actually, I'll stop. Is it just me or is there no passenger seat? Now, it is a right-hand drive truck. I'm in North America, so I'm used to left hand. I'm not complaining about that, but we don't have a passenger seat. That's interesting. Let's go into the interior. Yeah, we don't have a passengers. That's interesting. I wonder why. There's got to be a reason for that. Oh, is it because we have like tools or something in there? Anyways, we're gonna get it on. That's probably boring for you guys to watch, but that is weird. That is so weird. It looks like a pretty standard interior. It doesn't look like anything custom. So I don't know why there wouldn't be a passenger's seat in there. Ooh, we have to be careful going through here. Fantastic amount of suspension travel though. Really getting us through this section without too many issues, and we still haven't taken any damage, any more than we took from the dangerous water level, so the 5 out of 600, and just amazing. One thing I need to highlight is that we have these add-ons. Now, if you guys watch some of my other reviews, you'll find that when I put these add-ons on the trucks, they become very top-heavy, very bouncy. It really messes with the physics of the truck. I haven't encountered that whatsoever with this truck, and I'm not sure how he did that. It could be the center of gravity. I'm not sure what it is, but the add-ons have not affected this in any way. In my opinion, I think it probably handles better with the add-ons, so that's really nice to see. That's one thing I could ask from more mod authors is, if you're going to develop a truck and put it out there, release it with the add-ons tested, because most people are going to play with the add-ons. So if you don't test the truck with those add-ons in place, and adjust the XML and the suspension, the dampening, and all of that, then you kind of ruin the experience and people don't enjoy your mod as much. So just my take on it. I'm not like modding expert or anything like that. All I do is reviews and release them on YouTube. Go back into high gear and we'll hit up the mud hole of death that we typically take in every review. And we'll see how it gets it onto mud. We haven't really taken on too much crazy mud with this yet. And really just handled that with no issues at all. I mean, that was a walk in the park. Yeah, we'll take the typical route that we take for the mud hole of death. The high gear is really nice in this truck. Very, very nice. I do want to see how it gets it on in the rock crawling section though after this mud hole, because that rock crawling section, that's where trucks are made or broken. Some trucks do really well, some do terrible. Honestly, I think this thing is going to beast it. So far, it's beasted everything we've thrown its way, and it's done it in a realistic fashion. So it hasn't been over the top. I mean, it just seems, it's just a nice truck to drive, and so far, I would definitely recommend this to you guys. If you want to download it, the links are down below for it. And I really hope we see more from Jim's modding, because this is just an awesome, awesome Jeep, and I'm enjoying it. And I think I'm going to load it up on Mojave Green, and I'm going to go test it out there, play around with it some more, and everything down to the skins. I mean, this one's a little bit out there, probably not for everyone, but even the black one, the paint looks amazing on it. Just the default skin as is in black. This truck looks like a beast. Just as I predicted, it pretty much beasted all of those rocks, and get out of the way, yield sign. I think I'm going to download that mod that gets rid of the yield sign. Because recently there was a mod that came out on OVE that deletes all the yield signs and out of bounds. And I think I'm going to get that, because that thing annoys me every single video. Get a nice frontal view of some epic rock crawling. And this is a trail monster, I would say. I'm willing to bet you could take this truck on any map and just crawl through everything and just have a lot of fun. Not sure if it works in multiplayer, but I would like to try this truck out in multiplayer, because this would be fun to play with some other people. Crawl through trails for days and days and days. Yeah, go into... I'm going to try and get it into high gear. Let me get it into high gear. Go forward. Go forward. Yes, we're almost there. Yes, we got it. For this epic water crossing here. Not the deepest of water. I actually wanted to go a little bit more to the left there, but it is okay. This is a nice crawling section through here as well. We'll get a frontal view. We are into the red on fuel, I've just noticed, so 15 out of 80 liters. So it is definitely a good thing that we took that extra fuel from our add-on. This thing, it doesn't suck fuel, like it's only using 2 liters to 3 liters right now. Mind you, we are in casual, so in hardcore it's going to take a lot more. But we only have 80 liters to begin with, so I think the UAZ defaults to 80 liters. Really, that's my only complaint with this truck is I think it needs a little bit more fuel, maybe 150 liters. And then the 60 liter add-on for the fuel. But other than that, fantastic truck. Rock crawling with this is a blast. I would recommend you guys download this truck, take it onto a rock crawling map such as Mojave Green. There's a nice rock crawling section. There's actually a couple nice rock crawling sections on there. Even Evans Creek is a nice map for rock crawling, or even this map if you so choose. Take this thing rock crawling because just default without even editing the XML, it is just a fantastic truck for rock crawling. And I gotta be careful going through here. I think I've actually flipped or endoed a couple vehicles going over this section, so I do want to be careful going down this hill and just go nice and slow and not wreck the vehicle. To me, going slow like this is really boring, but I guess in the off-roading sense, you do want to go slow, because in real life, if you were to bomb down these hills as fast as I go in some of these reviews, you would be dead. I mean, so to some of you who like to take your time and crawl through these sections, this is the perfect game for you. And I can't get over those tires. Those tires are amazing. Just amazing. I'd like to see those maybe in some different colors, but I love the rims. They look so realistic, and the texturing on the tires, I don't know if you guys can see it in the video what I'm talking about, but the texturing on the tires, it has like a, it looks like real rubber. It just looks amazing. It looks realistic. I love that. Let's go let's go right. I know we went this direction in the other review, dudes, but we're gonna go again. I think I took the Ford Excursion 2-door through here. I am still in high gear. Actually, before we go through this section, I think we should fuel our truck up. We'll get a look at the winch points. Unfortunately, well, fortunately, I guess, we haven't had to winch this truck at all in the review because it has tackled everything we've thrown at it. So, good truck, but if you do want to winch, there's 3 winch points in the front and 2 at the back. Nothing on the top, which is a little bit odd. I'd like to see that, maybe 2 at the top, because we do have a roll cage. You would think it would have that. We'll fuel this up, so another 60 liters. And that should get us through the rest of the review. We are in low gear. We do have diff lock on and all wheels on, of course. I haven't taken it out of diff lock. Maybe I'll do that right now. Let's see how far we can get with just diff lock and see. Because some trucks actually perform better with just all wheels. But not this truck. So we'll throw diff lock back on. And it is asking a lot of a truck to go through this section with just all wheels on. So we've pretty much tested this Jeep through everything. So mud, water, really tricky terrain like we're going through now, and it hasn't had any issues whatsoever. Gotta love those epic Spintires modding effects? God, I can't talk. The epic lighting effects in Spintires when that goes down, but I think we might start to lag. Usually that happens when it goes dawn, or dusk I should say, yeah, dusk. And we'll go through here, and I hope we don't flip it. This is a really tricky area. Usually I flip vehicles going through this section if you don't pick the right line. I don't think we're gonna have that issue with the Jeep though. It's got a really low center of gravity. It doesn't have a lot of ground clearance, but I mean this just proves you don't need a lot of ground clearance to go through these sections. You just need a well put together truck with some thought put into it, something that's not slapped together, and you can make it through this stuff. Oh geez, I am getting stuck. Feather the throttle. Can we get out of here? Can we get out? Yes, we can get out. Of course we can get out. Who am I kidding? This is the Jeep of Death. This thing is awesome, and I know I say this a lot in my views. God, can't talk again. I am so tired, guys. It's like, what is it, 11:30, and it's been like a 18-hour day, so I'm a little bit tired. Might have some brain farts. I know I say this a lot in reviews that, oh, this is my new favorite truck, but this is just a really awesome truck, and I'm going to be playing a lot with this in offline. And if you guys would like to download it, the links are down below in the description for the truck, as well as the map, which is Blackwater High Desert. I'm going to end the review there, guys. Thank you so much for checking it out. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of these epic videos. It's been good, guys. Peace.